All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music. And this episode, we got some Sammy Hagar stuff and doing this in real time for a few real people just like you there and just like me here. Little housekeeping stuff to get to first. Folks, we went over 4,000. So thank you very much. I had 82,000. Now I've got 4. So thank you very much on the new Harmless Dave channel. Make sure you subscribe to it. Also, Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, YouTube memberships, and PJ Rock Super Chats, as, again, PJ came through yesterday. It's just crazy. I named the chat after him, and lo and behold, he's out there super chatting. So thanks, PJ, and keep PJ in your prayers. I know he's got some health issues going on, and we're hoping that all that gets taken care of, and he's able to be with us for, the next 50 years or so, at least. All right, so Sammy Hagar, he's in the news, and this is kind of interesting. Now, there are 2 parts to this. The first part is this brand new song that is out there, and all I'm going to say is if you like vintage Van Halen, this song is pretty good. It's called Encore, Thank You, Good Night. Now, some people are going to say, oh, gee, they just mimicked like Eruption, and, you've got Joe Satriani playing and trying to pretend he's Ed. And who else is going to do this, right? Nobody wants to step up and do this because nobody wants to try to fill Ed's shoes. So kudos to Joe for actually trying. Now, is this close to Eddie Van Halen? No. It's pretty good mimicry at times, but the soul of it, the feel of it, the spontaneity of it, the randomness of it, doesn't really compare to what Ed did. But is it a pretty good song? Yeah. And Sammy sounds pretty good on this for his age, too. Give him credit there. So the song is out there. The haters are going to hate. The people who like music will probably find some goodness in it. I think it's a good attempt to pay tribute to Eddie Van Halen. It's essentially thanking Ed, and then at one point basically saying goodnight. So I don't know. If Ed can hear it wherever he is, which I'm thinking he can't, or if he could, he probably likes it but isn't that impressed with it. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe, who knows? I don't know what kind of relationship he had with Joe. From what I understand, Joe didn't really pal around with Ed, but who knows? I don't know that much about, individual rock stars' relationships with one another. I don't study this stuff for a living. Clearly, because you don't know anything. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get that. I get blasted every time. You try to be humble and then you get blasted even more. Like, I'm not a music expert. There are channels that say, hey, I'm the professor of this. And I'm like, ugh. Can I see your degree in music? A lot of these guys, they do really good production, but when it's all said and done, a lot of it has been out there for many years on certain things from the past. And to me, it's all boring. It's just boring. People send me stuff and I go, yeah, okay. I not to say I know everything. I'm just bored with it. So anyway, the controversial part of Sammy talking about the new song, there's a second part to this, which I think is going to raise some eyebrows, because we don't actually have proof that this conversation happened. But Sammy is now telling people about a talk that he had with Ed toward the end of Ed's life. And this is what he says. Eddie said to me, don't tell anyone about us talking because I don't want to be answering questions about rumors of a reunion. All right, so if this is true, Ed at this point is not thinking he's about to die. Because then he says this: next year, we're going to get together. We're going to make some noise. Let me beat this bleep and let's do it. And it's a word that starts with S and ends in HIT, and I'm sure he's referring to his cancer. This, according to Sammy. He goes on to say this. Please don't talk to anyone, not even Al, meaning Alex. I've never said that to anyone, and I bet you Al is going to have a bleeping fit. I'm not going to spell that out for you. I think you know what he's saying here. Again, Eddie said, don't even talk to Al about this. I said, Ed, I don't even talk to Al, which is true. So that part of the conversation seems plausible. You might ask, well, why didn't Sammy say this when Al was on his book tour? I think the timing of that would have been interesting, and it may have gotten a response from Alex. Alex may actually respond and say something like, Ed never said anything about this to me. Well, according to what's... And see, that's what makes this kind of interesting. But also keep in mind, Sammy Hagar in his book said he was abducted by aliens, okay? So, I don't know. You know, maybe this is good publicity. Maybe this is something that can't really be verified and traced back because it's a conversation between Sammy and Ed, and who's going to be there to verify it. Maybe we can get the phone records and figure out what was said. Probably not. Anyway, folks, if you're a fan of Sammy Hagar, he will headline the Stagecoach Festival's Palomino stage on Sunday. And then he's scheduled to kick off his Vegas residency, the Best of Both Worlds tour, which stays in Vegas. The residency starts on April 30th at the Dolby Live Park MGM. A complete list of dates can be found at redrocker.com. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure those tickets are very inexpensive to get. Anyway, folks, a couple of things to check out. Obviously, the song, which I think is pretty good, but will probably tick some people off. I still think it's good. And this comment about how Ed planned to do something and quote-unquote make some noise. Now, that is kind of a specific statement, and it sounds like it could be legit, but we don't know. We don't know. Even if it's true, obviously Ed is no longer here. I think it would be cool if all the surviving members would get together and do something, right? And Joe is out there. They need a guitarist. Obviously, Wolfgang is out there, and he wants nothing to do with this, which is kind of a shame because he could be the guy to carry on his father's legacy. This stuff happens a lot. Got to look at like Deacon Fry carrying on for his late father in the Eagles. So this isn't really a stretch, but, you know, he wants to do his own thing and build his own career and play all that alt pop, power pop, whatever it is that he's doing. It's all right music, but it doesn't hold a candle to what his father did. That's just my humble opinion. I know everyone says, you're old, grow up, shut up, all this stuff. Grow up is a little late to that for that, you know. It's way too, it's just... Anyway, folks, thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for putting up with me. God bless everyone, even the people who don't believe in God. God bless you, all right? I know you don't want those blessings, but they're going out. They're going out, and if you think it doesn't matter, I think it does. Jesus really is our only hope. I will see you soon.